Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome again to another episode of Tate Talk, where we aim to provide credible information on health, wealth, and growth for regular folks. All right, so today is a really special topic. If you are anywhere in the South, we are dealing with some ugly weather right now. And some perseverance is absolutely necessary for a lot of us. People getting stuck, people getting into accidents. Golly, after a pandemic, you get some crazy weather. So it's just one thing after another, and that's just what life is in general. So today I'm excited to talk a little bit about perseverance, kind of getting through obstacles and hurdles in our lives. And I've got a guest that's coming on with me that knows all about that. And we'll get to that in just a second. But today's topic sounded a little bit culture, right? We calling it out the mud, right? That's just it makes you feel like, what does that mean? Like, that's a derogatory? Why would anybody take any kind of, take that as a compliment? Because where I'm from, when you say get it out the mud, I mean, it's like a rags to riches story, right? Started from the bottom, now we here kind of situation. Like, I didn't have a lot, and now I've created and I worked hard and I've made something for myself. A coming from nothing story is definitely part of the American dream, just like many other things. But I think that's the number one thing. People migrate to America just for that story, that dream of being able to, come here with nothing but the clothes on their backs and then make something out of themselves, have a great life. In America is one of the only countries that you can actually do that in. Regardless of how you guys feel about politics and things right now, this is still one of the greatest country in the world. And there's no denying that. So I love the fact that people are still chasing their dreams. We talked a little bit about that on the last episode. And in my own life, I felt that, for a long time, my story was like an out the mud story, but after traveling and talking to people and seeing people in other cultures and what real poverty looks like and what some real problems look like. Some of my friends and family have real issues, right? It starts to make you look at your own situation and kind of look back and say, you know what? I didn't have it all that bad, right? So for a long time, I always put myself in that category. And so I've dialed that back a little bit just because of my perspective, though, right? But I think that any person living in a situation that's difficult, it's definitely the hardest thing in the world for you because it's you and it feels like it's just you by yourself. My guest this evening is no stranger to struggle, but is a true testament of if you want something bad enough, you can absolutely get up and go get it, right? So with no further ado, I want to introduce, she's an author. She's the executive director and founder of Operation Taking Back 901. It's a 501c3 nonprofit here in Memphis, Tennessee. She also owns a couple of companies. I mean, golly, the list is super, super long. She was raised in the heart of North Memphis. My mother graduated from North Side, just like her. So North up in this thing. All right. Anyway, and she's overcome some insurmountable odds, right? Blatant betrayal, domestic violence, emotional control, all these words from her book. These aren't mine. This is from her book. And it's, like I said, she's an author. Her book's title is When Pleasing Has No Purpose. This copy is kind of beat up because I've had it for a very long time when she first released the book. But When Pleasing Has No Purpose is available. And with no further ado, let's go ahead and bring on the guest of the evening. Arieale, what's going on, superstar?
How you doing, Rodney?
Doing very well. How about you?
I'm doing great.
Thanks for being here. I'm really excited to have you on. Just to give us a little bit of backstory here. Tell people a little bit about where you're from, where your roots are. I gave them a little snippet. North side, but tell them a little bit. You have an idea who Arieale is.
Well, my name is Arieale Munson. Huh?
I said at your core.
Okay. Well, my name is Arieale Munson. I'm from North Memphis, out of Klondike, the heart of North Memphis. I attended every school in North Memphis: Valentine Elementary, Snow Middle, ended up in North Side. So I'm from North Memphis. That's who I am.
That's what's up. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Not.
And I'm gonna be real. In the city of Memphis, I feel like North Memphis got some of the biggest hustlers out the city. I'm just gonna say it like
You
that.
spoke nothing but the truth that time.
I'm just saying they go get it, and that's admirable. And anybody that's willing to go do that, just to put it on the line and go get it, it's admirable to me. So,
Right.
we've read off a million of your accomplishments already. Out of all the accomplishments that you've obtained, which one is the most important to you, or which one are you the most proud of, and why?
I think I'm the most proud of my first book, When Pleasing Has No Purpose, because it took a lot out of me to even lay my life on the line for others to read. I was afraid of being judged. I was afraid of being criticized. I was afraid of putting my story out there, thinking that my story would, possibly hurt where I'm trying to go. But I had to get in my mind that it was bigger than me, that my story could help others and also help other people get out of these situations that I have endured already. So
Gotcha.
I would say being an author is one of my greatest achievements.
So what? That's definitely admirable. What in you made you decide that, you know what, I need to share this story with the world? Because there are some moments in that book that many people would be really uh, ashamed,
Right.
or maybe embarrassed to report. What in you said, you know what? No, I need to be as honest as possible, and tell my story here.
I think when I got through that breakthrough, I had to basically face myself to say I'm no longer this person. It's someone out there that's hurting right now, that's possibly going through the things that I have been through. I had that title for over 8 years, and I really feel like God led me to put that out there because I had overcame it already. So I think just basically getting over that hurdle helped me to put that story out there.
Okay. And let me ask you this, because I talk to a lot of young entrepreneurs, and you know better than a lot of them that
Right.
when you're trying to find a path or where you want to be in entrepreneurship, or in business for yourself, or just side hustles or whatever, what is it what advice would you give somebody who's interested in going and writing a book, or starting a business? What do you think the most important things are? And if they're different for each, just let me know. But what do you think the number one thing is for anybody who wants to do something like that?
I think the most important thing for them to know is that it's not going to be easy. Don't come in and that you're just going to excel right away. It's going to be moments where you're going to want to give up. It's going to be moments where you're going to take a loss. It's going to be moments where you're going to take a win. But you got to still hold your head up high and keep pushing. Because as you know, entrepreneurship is hard. I still have a job as well. So, it's nothing wrong with working and being an entrepreneur at the same time. You don't have to just come out the gate and just say, I'm gonna be a straight entrepreneur. You have to set a plan and work the plan. It's great for you to have it out there in your face, like vision boards, I would say calendars, planners, just to plan the plan and work the plan.
That's it. What they say, you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Right.
Right. And so
And
I
then
agree with that.
yeah, and I think they need to remember that the delay doesn't always mean denial. It's something that I have to always remind myself because I'm kind of one of those type of people. As you know, when I want it right then.
I
So a
understand.
lot of these things with entrepreneurship and just doing different things, it takes patience, and it's something that I'm learning along the way myself. Because I barely have patience, but it's teaching me
Okay, speaking of
that.
patience, let me ask you. So, in writing the book, how long did it take you to kind of put it together? And is it as profitable as, like mainstream media would make it seem? Like people make it seem like these politicians come out with books, and it's like, oh, they're gonna make millions or whatever. Was putting out the book about making money, or more so to really help some people that may be going through something similar?
I'm a self-published author, so I didn't have a book deal. So my book is not going to be as much profitable as someone who might have had a book deal. So it wasn't about just making money. It was about just being able to reach young girls, young women, to show them it doesn't matter how you start, it's about how you finish. You can't let your struggle determine your destiny. You have to push forward. So with writing this book, I had wanted to write a book for like 8 years. And when I started writing, I put it down many times because I let fear get in my way. I'm like, people are going to judge me. What are they going to think of me? Because as you know, I'm involved in so many different things, so many different organizations. And I had fear that people were going to look at me a certain way. But I had to let God get in my ear and I had to seek his face in the process to let people know that you're not alone. Pain has no look. You can't look at a person and say what they've been through. So I
Yeah.
had to overcome all that.
Got you. And you spoke something there that's big. You said all these organizations, associations that you're a part
Yes.
of. Look, I think we both are on that train of
Yes.
things to do, right? And so we haven't even mentioned that you're a mother of two young men,
Yes.
and how that all fits in, and where do you find time? What do you do to keep everything in line? Because there are many people that tell me, "Oh, I don't got time. I got kids and a job," and that to me just seems like a cop out to me. I think that I know it's hard, and I know it's not easy. But can you give them some advice? Because I've seen people like you do this all the time.
Well, with my nonprofit operation, Taking Back 901, my kids are very involved in my organization. I give them community service. I make sure that they give back. They take pride in giving back themselves. So they come up with different events as well with me. So as long as I have them hands on, it works in my favor. And just like with me being a founder member of Shelby POW, which is the Police Activities League, my kids were in the organization. So that didn't take away from the time because I would have to be there anyway. So I just make sure I keep them involved, or a lot of times they go to meetings with me. They plan things with me, which is teaching them responsibility, like about financial literacy and just saving money and giving back. So I involve them in things with me.
Nice. So okay, so the key is to incorporate it all. Life
Yes.
is a part of everything that I'm doing, and so okay, I like that tip. So basically, kind of make it part of your life is what it
And make
sounds
it
like.
fun in the process.
Okay, what
Yeah.
kind of things you do to make it fun for them, or is this something that they enjoy doing anyway?
They enjoy doing it anyway. As you know, we're going through COVID, so we haven't been able to do as many events like we used to. So they've been asking me, Mom, when are we gonna do a food drive? Or Mom, you didn't do your vision board party this year. So that warms my heart to let me know that they enjoy it too. So I just try to pick their brains because as you know, the nonprofit's mission is to implement economic and educational programs for underserved youth in Shelby County. So why not reach out to the youth to see what we can do to make it efficient, to make it fun?
Absolutely. I think that the youth definitely are definitely the future. That's
Right.
cliche as it may sound, right? But it really is true on so many different levels, because you see how many kids are getting involved in the politics of things because of
Right.
global warming and gun control, and kids are involved in this stuff. Like
Mm-hmm.
when I was in high school, I think my biggest concern was, I don't even remember. Oh, 9/11 happened in high school. I think that was like my 10th grade year. And that got me like jolted into world news and, what's going on there. But that was the biggest thing for me. These kids have a ton of other things on their agenda that they want to take care of. And honestly, when you seen like what we saw this year in Georgia, young people are taking over because they
Right.
flipped the state of Georgia red to blue, and that's
Yes.
all because of young people. That's really all that is.
Mm-hmm.
So I commend you on doing that, getting your kids involved in that. That's awesome. Let me ask you this: how much do you attribute your success to the struggles you faced early on? We haven't talked a lot about what your struggles are, and this is a perseverance show. So can you give
Right.
me like an example of something that may have been a deep pain or something that was really hard for you that you think helped mold you to be where you are today, owning businesses and nonprofits and helping out the community?
I think my biggest struggle, well, I wouldn't call it a struggle, it was my biggest blessing. I became a mother at 16 years old. I was in ninth grade, I became a mother, and I had to make up in my mind that I can't just dwell and drown and become well, I'm already a statistic anyway because I was a black young woman having a baby at 16. So I had to do something to transform to be a better person for my child. So I think that's where it clicked into me that, I got to do something different. So I worked, I finished school, I took care of my kid, got an apartment, and just kept pressing. So I think that's one of the main things that made me to be the woman I am today, becoming a mother very early because it was no longer about me. It was about him at the moment. So I had to
Wow.
grow up fast. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And many people would look at that as a real burden or an excuse to say, oh, my life's over now, and not chase any kind of dreams or anything. And like you said, though, and would still be kind of close to what you said, oh, it's not about me anymore. It's about my kid. But you also, while you were taking care of the kid, were propelling your own dreams.
Right.
Which
I was
that's
working, going to school, still pressing forward. I still had my own little personal life and everything, but I had to, do something different. I had to.
I got
So,
you. And
hmm
can you tell me this? It seemed like there are so many people that just sit on the edge and they're like, they want to so bad, but they don't have either, maybe it's the courage or the fear is just too much in them, where they don't want to take that jump into maybe entrepreneurship or into writing that book or starting that business or any of that kind of stuff. What kind of advice would you give them, that those people that may just be sitting on the edge and just not pulling the trigger because of maybe fear or something along those lines?
I would say that they need to get with like-minded individuals because a lot of times we tell people what we want to do, and those same people that we're telling our dreams to, they don't understand it and they deter us from doing what we want to do. So I had to get in a place where I had to basically figure out who I was and what I wanted to do. And like I say all the time, make a plan to get there. So I would say work the plan, put it out there. It's gonna work out, but if it stays within you, how you gonna basically do what you're trying to do? But
Exactly.
main thing, you with like-minded individuals.
People that think like you. It's
Yeah,
amazing how impactful that actually is, though.
yes,
Because I've been in both. I've been in some really negative circles, and I've
me
been in
too.
some very uplifting and positive circles. And I tell you, the latter is where I would rather be. I would
Me
much
too.
rather be with them because um, uh, one, like-minded already makes you feel comfortable. Like we already kind of thinking the same. We're already on that first wavelength. The second thing is that once you are on that same wavelength, you guys have different experiences and different connections and resources that, immediately can become valuable to you,
And you
Um,
can exchange services at the same time. Like I might know someone who you might want to write a book. I know a publishing company. I can provide you with their resource who can help you get to where you need to go. I might want to start this type of business and you might know this person. So it's all about bouncing ideas off each other. If we're like minded, we can't do nothing but win in the
so
process.
hold on, you telling me if somebody called and reached out to you, you wouldn't shun them, you would actually try to help them if they were interested in doing something like that?
Anybody who know me know if I can help you, I'm gonna help you. I will give you shirt off my back. But yeah, I do it all the time. That's a part of my life coaching business. To help with personal development, it's more of the consulting side that I provide those different resources for. So that's one of my services that I provide.
That's awesome. If they wanted to contact you about that service, how would they get in touch with you?
They can contact me on my business line, which is 901-677-3553, or they can email me, which is munsonarielle@icloud.com, or they can reach me on my nonprofit website, takingback901.org.
Awesome. So life coaching. Okay. Oh, what got you into life coaching? That's pretty cool. I think that's one of your. No, it's not the newest though, is it?
No, it's not the newest. I'm a certified
You
life
just
coach.
blooming stems all over the place here.
Right, I
So
got to. I mean, I'm always the person that everyone kind of goes to for different resources and advice. So why not get certified in my gift that I can provide more resources? So in my life coaching business, I specialize in personal development. So with the personal development, I'm more of your accountability partner. So I help with budgeting, I help with personal development, I help with job skills, business skills, and I help you start the plan and push it forward by doing exercises and asking probing questions. And I'm more the type of person that studies people. I sit in the room and I just observe and I just try to figure out ways where I can help you grow because like I haven't always been in this situation. I came from the heart of North Memphis. I've been through different situations, become a mother earlier, domestic abuse, betrayal, everything, you name it, I've been through it. So why not help from my experiences, help someone else get to the next level or try to if they want to get there. Let's put it out there.
absolutely,
If they want to get there, I can't want it more than them. They got to do the work.
that's for sure.
So yeah.
That's for sure. And I think that's the biggest thing with a lot of people is making that decision. Like, all right, enough's enough. In your book, I think there's a chapter.
Yep, it's called enough is enough.
Along those lines, and I thought I had it already marked in here, but I don't think I do. But it was almost verbatim to that point.
Mm-hmm.
It was this time. It said, "Stop sleeping on yourself, Arieale." That little chapter right there.
Yes, stop sleeping on yourself. Like
That's it.
I was pushing everybody else, but I wasn't pushing myself. So how can I give 100% to someone else when I'm not giving myself 100%
That's
and
it.
leaving myself bankrupt? So no, enough is enough.
That's it. That's it. I love that. Okay, so let's see. That we've talked about your personal book. Okay,
All right.
now you've done a children's book recently, also.
I am the
I
change.
am the change. Very okay. Tell us a little bit about the book, what inspired it, and how people can get it.
I am the change is a children's book that basically all of the characters are African American, and I wanted them to know that it doesn't matter the color of their skin. And in one of my illustrations, which is I kind of manifested something that's in my book. I'm one of those type of people where you put it in the universe and it's gonna happen, and it did. We already had a black president as a man. Now we have a woman. So I am the change is a book that kind of provide different occupations for our youth, let them know that they can be the change that this world needs. So I wrote a book for the children. And
That's
it's all
amazing.
catered around the life coaching as well. I wanted to coach children to let them know that they don't have to play sports. They can be doctors, they can be lawyers, they can be astronauts, they can be chefs. So I put it in the universe.
I
So
love
I
that.
am the change. Thank you.
I
And
love
it's
that because
available on Amazon too.
oh, nice, very nice. So you
Hmm.
can get it on Amazon. Both books are on Amazon, right?
Yeah, and they can purchase it from me as well. So they can
Purchase
call
from you
me.
direct. That
Hmm.
same contact information, right?
Yes,
Gotcha. That's awesome. That's awesome. So I've been mentoring for like 5 years now,
I know.
and 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 it's funny because you said you don't have to be an athlete or you don't have to be like a
Yeah,
music or an
you don't
actress or
have to.
because that's guess what number one and number two on their list a lot of times. And I think
Hmm.
that's just because what they see the most. And I think that it's brilliant to do a book that gives them a different outlook
Yes.
to see themselves, to see other kids like them, because I think that really is important to be able to self-identify and to be able to see yourself in positive positions and not just ones that Hollywood want to see us in.
Right. And
Right.
I just want to put that out there. Just it's more of casting vision, speaking into our youth, letting them see different things, letting them see people that look just like them, characters, to say, hey, I can be this person. So it's a part of coaching them into success.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now you've already got 2 books out. Can we expect another one?
I have three. I'm a co-author.
What's your
I'm a
co-author?
co-author.
Let's see. And look, this is information I didn't even have.
It was necessary. It came out
It was
in
necessary.
October. Yes. And I'm a co-author in this book. So it's 3 books.
Wow. Tell us a little bit about this book since we're talking about
It was necessary. I co-authored with a group of awesome young women. All of us put our stories in this book, and it just speaks survivor and healing and redemption. And we just basically, each one of us had a chapter to give certain stories about what we've been through, and we compiled it into a book.
them.
And
Nice.
it's called "It Was Necessary." And it's Erica Boyd. She put all of our stories together, and she has a publishing company. Like I said, if someone wants to write a book, tell somebody.
Nice. That's awesome. See, I didn't even know there were 3 books, so that's amazing.
Yes, it's 3 books now.
Will there be a book after number 3?
I've been back and forth with it.
Okay.
I got a few ideas
Okay.
that I'm working towards, so I think it
Heard
will
it here
be.
first. It may be another one.
It might be another
Wait. All
one.
right. We like the teaser. Very good. Make sure when you
Mhm.
get ready to launch it, you come back on here and do a show with us.
I am.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. Tell me something. Tell me, with all the stuff that you've got going on, you got a million things going on. You
Ooh,
just started another company,
yeah.
Road to Greatness, which I think was also a program in Operation Take It Back
Take it back
911, was it
911.
not?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
So, how'd you get in the
So
trucking business?
yeah, I own a truck. I have a trucking business. Road to Greatness LLC is my LLC that I'm running my trucking business under. I wanted to start something that I can pass down to my boys. To start something that's pretty easy. And who's to say my boys might not want to go to college? They might want to get a certification. So why not have something started up for them that I can pass on to them? So that was the point of me starting the LLC so I can start establishing credit for my oldest. So once he reached 18, he'll already have good credit. He'll already be responsible. He'll already know how to handle certain things. So I'm teaching him already how to run the family business.
That's awesome.
So
That's awesome.
yeah.
How does he do at it so far?
Whew. He's pretty cheap with his money, so he's good with the saving money part.
He
But
good with
it's
budgeting, huh?
Yeah, he's very good with budget. He's not gonna spend his own money. He's gonna spend mine. But as far as the business part, he's very great. Like he's into stocks and everything. He wants to be on Robin Hood. I have to tell him all the time, you're not old enough. He studies Bitcoin, all of this. So he's very financial savvy.
Nice. And that's because
Mhm.
of you. Now, I want to take it
Yes,
back a little bit here because I do believe that financial education starts in the household. And
right.
for a lot of us in our generation, it really didn't come from the household. We had to kind of trial and
Start
error
on our
our way
own.
through those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Being a mother who is bringing your kids up on financial literacy and making sure that they have it. What do you think the number one thing for parents to do for their kids early on is?
I think the most important thing to do is to start them a savings account and show them about adding more money in. And I think one of the most things that we don't educate our kids on is credit cards. Because like when they get 18 years old, they get this card and they think all their money is available for them. We don't educate them on only using 30% of their card or less. So they come out the gate having bad credit instead of being responsible because we're not educating them and teaching them these certain things or setting them up to
Yeah.
have, generational wealth. So that's something that I'm trying to start now with educating my kids. I've been doing it for a while, but now just building my son's credit. He'll be 16 this year. I want him when he get 18 to come out with 800 credit score where he can do what he
Yeah.
needs to do.
That's it.
So yeah, and just I'm kind of educating them on the importance of paying more towards the principal and not just paying the minimum of things and not going overboard with their spending.
It's amazing. That's amazing
Hmm.
because a lot of people don't have an idea or even a clue about that. A lot of adults don't know about that. So
No,
for you to be instilling it in them, they're
you're
definitely
a
going to be able
beast.
to carry all the empire over because there is
Yes.
definitely a lot of weight there. You've definitely set them up to take on whatever any route they want to go. They absolutely can, I think, and that's very commendable of you. Um, oh, where I want to go. Oh, okay. So yeah, um, when we met,
Ooh.
I was at the car lot. I know we're gonna go back a little bit here. We'll go
I
back a
can't
little
remember
bit.
last.
Oh, I
Okay.
know. But when we met, I was at the car lot, and those were the Charger days. You remember the Charger,
Yeah, I had a Charger then. No, I had the Mustang. No,
the
we
Mustang?
can go all of that. No, I
Yeah.
had the
Let's start.
Mercedes.
I'm trying to roll up to the negative equity. So start me at the beginning. How you got to being like 15 grand upside down in the car.
You know, I came in with the Mercedes.
Mm.
I traded the Mercedes in for the Mustang. So I didn't want the Mustang anymore because it was a two-seater. I kind of felt claustrophobic. I got the Charger. So when I got the Charger, I didn't want that anymore. I ended up going to get the Chrysler.
Now,
Which
how much time had passed between all these vehicles, though? That's
I
the
didn't
question.
want them cars anymore. It didn't matter how many how much time it had been. But it had probably been about a year or two. I would say a year or two.
A year or two, and how many? That sound like 4 vehicles.
No, I had the Mercedes for like 4 years.
But
But
once you traded it in, though.
I think it was like 2 years, and then I had the Charger. I think about 2 years. But you know why I got rid of the Charger. But back then, I didn't know about balloon notes, and I didn't know about taking all of this negative equity over, which would have you paying for a car double
Yeah, and that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about
until
that
I
because
started working for Sunrise. I hadn't
we
always been financial savvy, I was learning. I had to learn my way, but I had to take different courses to get me to this place.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
And listen, what's crazy is that, along the way I was there trying to help. We were looking into trying to get you into housing and stuff like that. Talk a little bit
Mhm.
about how that affected you to get approved and all that kind of stuff because of like just the debt to income
That
and
DTI, yeah, that's the main factor because my debt to income ratio was probably too high to qualify for the amount of home that I might would have wanted. Meaning, what I'm bringing in is not enough to cover what I have, and it's hard to prove certain income if you don't have it on paper. Meaning, you might have one of your children's fathers might be paying you outside of a court order. You can't prove this. So it's like your DTI is too high and you're not bringing in that much money, which will qualify you for a lower amount for your home. Or you might be writing off your taxes, some of your income, and it's taken away from your income that you're bringing in. You might bring in 60,000, but you writing out 20,000 on your tax return, which will make you not qualify for that much home.
yeah, exactly. And
So that was a
and
problem.
exactly. And that's a problem for a lot of people here. That's why I wanted to talk
Mhm.
about it a little bit. I know it's a little bit personal in your financial
You
business
all
and stuff,
right?
but I think it's something that's important because I talk about this channel is health, wealth, and growth, right? So
Mhm.
in order to get to wealth, we have to start figuring out some of these financial issues that we put ourselves in, and Black people especially put ourselves in some of the worst car situations that you can
Oh my
possibly think
God.
of. And it's because we want to ride clean. It's more important to ride clean than own your home. I just, it's
And
tough.
another thing, the interest rate. The
Mm-hmm.
interest rate, meaning based off your credit. Oh my God, you might have a 22% interest rate, but here I am now with a 4% interest rate.
And a new whip out here.
And a new wheel out there because I had to
See?
educate myself on
Now,
my credit.
now let me ask you this. Do you remember how much you were paying for your Chrysler 200 you had? I think it was like almost $600 or something at one
I
time,
don't
which
want
was,
to remember. I think it
I
was
know you
about.
don't. Are you okay with sharing your car note now?
No, I don't want these people count my. No, I'm just playing. I think I paid 500.
But the type of, we're talking about from a Chrysler 200 to what kind of vehicle now, though?
I have the GLA 250.
Clean though. Look, same payment as the 200 was,
Right.
but the interest and there's no negative equity and just you buying it right is what I'm trying to
Mm-hmm.
make the point of here. I'm not trying
Yeah,
to.
I know you're good. You know I don't care about all this, but it's the interest rate. It's the problem. The bank that you finance, and then you go through these different lenders. They run your credit 6 and 7 times when you can go through your credit union when you already know your score and walk out with a check.
It's true.
You already
That's true.
pre-approved. You don't have to be at the lot all day because you already know what you're approved for. You can go take them their check. You know what you're getting and right off.
Yeah, that's one way. And then also, some of the lenders at car lots aren't bad. They're not bad lenders. You just don't need them to send them to everybody. You just need to say,
Everybody,
hey,
right?
send me to your best one. Send me to your best one or two lenders. And I'm not doing anything over this percentage, right? Like when you got credit, you can come in like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I found a lot of times in the car business that people weren't in the position to kind of determine what they could go get, right? So they got salespeople coming back and saying, hey, I got you approved, but it ain't on that car. I got you this right here,
They ain't gonna tell you they done ran your credit 10 times. You ain't gonna know until you get your credit
Once you
report.
start getting those letters in the mail, those
Right.
decline letters in the mail, you'll have it then. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and that's what it is, and that's what people don't know though. When they go to the car lot, they have to be a little bit more, informed because they will absolutely shoot you. They have 12 to 15 banks on the list.
Right.
So if they wanted to, and your credit is a little messed up, and they just wanted to try to slingshot it somewhere and pray for you to get approved, that's 15 inquiries on top of all declinations, and you still ain't got no car.
Right.
It's just you got to be a little more prepared when you're ready to go into that. So we're talking about perseverance here today, talking about getting it out the mud. We've got Arieale Munson, owner of Operation Take It Back 901 and Road to Greatness LLC, and author extraordinaire, and the list goes on. So if you guys are liking the information that we're dropping today, you guys interested in the content, like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell so you can have the information right as we go live every Thursday right here on YouTube and on Facebook. So make sure that you guys tune in every Thursday, 6 p.m. if you like the content. All right. Let's see here. So what's next for Arieale? What do you got up your sleeve now? I mean, I just haven't seen you ever stop doing stuff. So I just got a feeling that there has to be some kind of master plan in your back pocket that you plan on doing something here soon. What's going on with you right now?
Well, I am having a brunch. It's called the Empowerment Tea Brunch. It's going to be on March the 27th. And this brunch is going to basically provide women and men, if they want to come, with, you're going to get in a room with a lot of women who are business professionals and some that might want to become a professional. And I want them to link up and trade services. I have guest speakers that are going to come and tell their stories, have vendors, great food, music, and we're just going to link up. We're going to be dressed nice in our tea attire, and we're just going to have a great time. I hope from this event that someone who's looking to start a business or who already have a business can come and gain some knowledge and information. Say, for instance, I might do credit repair and you might do business plans. I might need a business plan. You might I need your credit fix. We trade services to help each other get to the next level. So with this brunch, I'm hoping to just basically see a lot of women succeed in their dreams. So it's
Gotcha.
called the Empowerment Tea Brunch.
All right, the Empowerment Tea Brunch. You said that is
March
March
27th. Yes.
Nice, very, Very good. Now you said there's gonna be a lot of women in the building. I've seen you putting out some of the tips and stuff. Are guys invited? I seen you had some like
guys invited. I had the guys so they can see what type of shirt they can wear. They can come in there too. It's tea attire for the men. You know, we like to have a good time. So yeah, we're gonna have food, music, and everything. They can come gain some knowledge too. It's not just for women, but you know.
Guys like tea. See,
right.
My tea, right?
Yeah, good tea.
Okay. All right. Let's see. So we've covered almost everything. We haven't talked about your mobile notary business. We hadn't talked about. You got taxes. That. What else? Taxes. Oh my God. You still do taxes? Oh my God.
I still do taxes sometimes when my clients call me.
Oh, okay. You only do your past clients.
Yeah, I'm not leaving no money on the table.
I'm not mad at that. I'm definitely not. Mm-hmm. Absolutely, because nobody gonna give it to you, are they?
Right.
All right.
I got nobody.
I got one more I want you to answer for me, and we're gonna call it a wrap. And I don't want to end on a dark note, but I don't think it's dark. I think that your answer will lighten it up. Okay.
Okay.
All right. With so many obstacles in your way, coming up as a teen mom and in some crazy relationships and stuff and just overall life happening. Mm-hmm. Where'd you find the energy to continue through all the dark times?
I found the energy with finding a new love, and that new love was for God. Because, you know, when you grow up, you have people tell you about God and tell you what you're supposed to know, but it's nothing like discovering him for yourself. So I had to get in a place where I had to get spiritual healing. I had to build myself back up again. I had to get on my face. I had to pray. I had to realize my wrongdoings and different things, different situations that I put myself into. And I had to basically face myself and figure out who I was and tell myself that I'm sleeping on myself. Time for me to wake myself up. And it helped me overcome a lot of things. I just came more involved in church and in the community, just pointing to others. That it helped me overcome a lot of things that I was experiencing.
Nice. So, and I know a lot of people, people go on those journeys and things like that, but where did you start? I know you mentioned that you got, closer to the community, closer to in the church, and started praying. What came first? Did you start praying first? Did you go to the church first? Did you start working in the community first and kind of just talking?
I'm gonna tell you this. I was telling people to pray for me, but I wasn't praying for myself. So I had to get.
You said it earlier. How somebody else gonna want it more than you?
I know, but when I was in those dark times, I had to see the light. So I started in the community first with Miss Bears. I was involved in my son's sport organization. With also started my own nonprofit, but I had to get in the church to figure out what I was doing, where I was lacking. And that's where I was lacking. I wasn't including God like I thought I was. I knew him. I prayed, but I wasn't being intentional with my prayers. And I was telling people to pray for me, but how I know they're actually praying. It's two different types of praying. So I had to do what was best for me and do something about it and just press forward.
Gotcha. I think the safest place to go when you are in need of somewhere spiritual. I'm not telling anybody any religious preference or anything like that, but it definitely needs to be on a different level, something outside yourself or really deep internal of yourself, because I do believe that, we are, God is in us. We are that, and if we're made of star stuff and God stuff, then we can accomplish anything, right? Like if we're made of this stuff, there's nothing that can stop us from doing the things that we want to do and accomplish our dreams. I really do feel that whether you're religious, spiritual, just meditating or just self-aware in general, I think all of those things are part of that. And looking inside and looking inward was big. I think that's definitely where any of that stuff has to start, because until you make the decision that things are going to change,
right,
they're going to pretty much stay on course the way they're going. Did you want to you have any closing statements you want to make before we get off here, or you want to give your information out one more time for the people if they want to contact you?
I want them to remember nothing comes to a sleeper but a dream. And if you're interested in needing some information, you don't know where to start, I'm available. You can contact me by email at munsonarielle@icloud.com. And I'm here to assist you in every way that I can.
Thank you so much, Arieale. Thanks again for coming on the show. Really appreciate your time. If there's anything that we can do for you at the show, just let us know. And until next time, when you got the new book, you be safe and stay warm in this crazy weather, okay?
I know you see I got my hat on. You got me on here looking nappy head, but I'm so warm. All right.
You're fine. Don't worry about none of that. Appreciate you coming. Thanks again.
Right. Bye-bye.
So, again, this was an amazing interview. No matter your background, no matter your circumstances, you have the ability to overcome any situation you come in contact with. You really do. Toxic relationships, financial woes, or just plain unhappiness can all be flipped on its head. It all can be changed. You have to believe that, though. You have to make that decision. You have to make it up in your mind that enough is enough. I'm not going to let this keep going on. And I want better. If you do want better, you can get better. You really can, no matter what situation you're in. You have to first believe it is possible. Meaning, make up your mind that you want better. It's a decision. It only takes a second to make a decision, but you need to make one. Stop sitting on the fence. Stop sitting on the ledge. Far too many blessings in your life. Too much to be grateful for you to doubt yourself or to sit on the sideline and act as if you're not worthy to play in the game. And the game is life. A lot of people say life isn't a game. Well, yes, it is. It depends on how you look at it. It's perspective. I look at it as like a game because there are times where you can score and there are times where you win. There are times when you lose, right? I just don't keep record. It's just life, the game of life. You guys remember the game of life? Anyway, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. But once you decide you need better, then you need to identify what it will take to conquer the barriers that'll be in front of you and plan accordingly. You heard it here tonight. Arieale said, until you make a plan, you haven't really planned on anything. If you haven't made a plan to go get what you want out of life, then what you want out of life is just going to be in your brain. Until you put it on paper, put it in some kind of process of how you're going to track it. What is it going to take? What do I need to do? Until that happens, you're going to be where you are. And that's nobody's fault but your own. It'd be my fault if I didn't tell you, because that's what I'm here to do. Lastly, you need to pursue your goals and dreams with everything you got. She said it earlier. This was such a great interview. She said it earlier. You don't give 100% to something. If you don't give 100% to yourself, how you know what 100% looks like coming from somebody else? If you don't give 100% in your relationship, how do you know what it could be, what it could potentially be? If you don't put 100% into your business, how do you know what it could be, how big it could be? How do you know if you don't put 100% in? Talked to my buddy the other day. He's got a situation. He has problems with the lady at home, but he doesn't put 100% in. And I said, man, listen, what in life do you know that you've accomplished the best that you could ever be without putting 100% in? He thought about it and he couldn't think of anything. And I think it was eye-opening. He called me the other day and said, you know what? I took that advice of yours And now I've decided to put 100% into my relationship, and I'm hoping for the best. I really am. I hope that everything works well for him. But I really do believe that if you don't put 100% into anything that you do, how can you know that that's what is going to take, or how great it could be, or how spectacular you are, or how great the idea was if you don't put in 100%? You have to go all out for your dreams, man. Nobody else will. Persistence is the key, and we've talked about it all night. Giving up on your dreams is giving up on yourself. Never give up, never surrender. Your dreams are depending on you. Till next week, Real Estate Tate. This is Tate Talk. See you guys later.